thank you so much for letting us come today to sit with you for a little while in Caveland, in the Caveland Antique Mall, which is in downtown Horse Cave, Kentucky. You know that thrifting and antiquing and junking has become probably the fastest rising craze in America today. Online, delving into treasured places like this where we sit right now. And you are probably one of the longest running collectors, thrifters, antiquers that we know of right now. How long have you been doing this?
60 years.
That is, so you started when you were
16.
Wow.
What made you decide at the age of 16, like what fed that interest in you then?
My mother always liked stuff. She was a big decorator in the house. And I got accustomed to stuff, and I decided I wanted more stuff.
And you realized what kind of stuff you liked?
Yeah, well, I started out buying pattern glass and depression glass. And ended up with a lot of it.
What was your favorite? What pattern did you start collecting first?
The first thing I ever bought in pattern glass was a pattern called Rosette and Pinwheel. It was an early pattern put up in Indiana glass. And then I started with, in the Depression, which everybody around here wanted at that time, Open Rose, now called Mayfair. And, of course, ironic back then, the prices it was then, what it is now.
Yeah.
I passed up some glasses one time at $1.25 a piece because I already had like 60-some of them. And then when they started selling for $60 a piece, I wished I'd have bought them way back when. But stored them in some more boxes. But
And as we sit here, which is in Caveland Antique Mall again, you also have another location,
4 miles out,
which is Earlene's
Antiques and Flowers.
And Flowers. And you have other places that you keep things that don't have to be mentioned on camera today or on microphone today. How many items do you think in total, you just a wild guess, that you might have collected?
There's a lot. But it's no telling how many million pieces I've handled in 60 years. Because back in what I called the heyday in the 80s, when interest was through the roof and all these people were drawing big money, and so they had extra money to spend all the time, and it was unreal back then. And I had people that came from dealers. I supplied pretty much stuff for dealers, 3 dealers in Mississippi that came up every 2 weeks and take back a load. And then a lady from E-Town, one from North Carolina, one from out of Tennessee. I was their source back then.
And how do you see this industry now? The thrifting craze, the antiquing.
It's totally different. Back in what I called the heyday, what I consider to be better type stuff was what everybody wanted. And I'm not saying what they're buying now is not okay, but, well, like the hens on the nest are the craze right now. And they don't care if it was made in Germany, if it was made in China, as long as it's a hen. And stuff like that. And furniture, I think they're going to look back and realize they ruined a lot of really good furniture by painting it. 20 years from now, and they're going to say, "Oh, I wish I hadn't painted that." But that's the craze. So,
yeah. In 60 years, have you seen kind of a full circle or things?
Yeah,
coming back into
stuff
fashion?
And just like right now, everybody's wanting now honey boxes, which we used to call honey dishes. And I just sold 8 of them a day to a lady for, I won't even say how much. But anyway, after she left, the girl that was helping me, she said, "Let's make a picture and put one of those online and see what it shows." And it was 5 times what I'd sold her those for, that they were
Wow.
selling for online right now. It's another craze right now for a while. But yeah, I've seen a return to some things even in the last 6 months. Young people that are starting to buy, they're wanting stuff from the 1800s and early 1900s instead of stuff that was made 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So there are definitely cycles and crazes and things that become super popular. I'm sure it's always been that way in the last 6 decades,
Yeah.
right?
It's always been a crave, some kind. Just like, years ago, everybody collected Avon bottles, and then you couldn't give them away. And now they're back again. And of course, the depression glass, especially the green, because it has uranium, and it glows in the dark with a black light. That stuff has gone up tremendously. I think some of the biggest changes have been in probably some of the stoneware pieces, crockeries pieces, and advertising signs. I mean, signs that we would used to sell for $50, now it might bring $500.
Yeah.
And a lot of signs are bringing $2,000.
Yeah. It's interesting to see what people are wanting to bring into their homes. Of course, that's part of all of this, I'm sure, always. And I do think that there is an appreciation now maybe for the fact that so many of these things will never be made again, which I'm sure is why things tend to fetch a higher price, especially as you've held on to them and gone through the cycles of while they're back and people want these for a different reason, like the black light. We've seen the displays that you're talking about where they have those displayed in the black lights and the glow and the china cabinets, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I do think that perhaps the generations that are coming up are appreciating just the fact that these are things that will never be made again, that were made well once, and if we hold on to them, they'll last us a lifetime. Hopefully, that is a factor in the thrifting craze.
And a lot of it has to do with what makes the cycles change is people will buy what they saw at grandma's house when they were growing up. So, we got younger people now that are buying stuff that they saw at grandmother's house actually in the 90s.
Absolutely.
And, that doesn't mean that it was bought in the 1910. It may be something grandma bought in 1960 or 1970, but they saw it. Okay, typical example, Pyrex,
Yes.
Corningware,
Yes.
Fire King.
Yes.
Uh,
Ducks with blue ribbons.
Yeah, that's a craze again now. I just sent 3 boxes of that stuff to Goodwill about 2 months ago. Just
Yeah.
get off sale.
I do think that you're right. The 90s are making a comeback. People have emotional connections to what they've seen at grandma's house. Grandma core is a big thing right now. And I think that is another reason, you're right, that ties us to items and why certain things that we might want to thrift will bring us joy in the places that we live. And I think that's another big reason that people probably thrift. Tell us a little bit about your collections and how you, what you have in both places. And yes, I know that's a huge question.
I had a lady call me here a while back, and she said, "What have you got in your store?" I said, "Anything from a tin can to a piece of Belter furniture." We carry a pretty wide variety. I just recently bought a lady's collection of dolls, over 200.
Oh.
And they're not all out yet by any means. But, and I just bought some more tin toys. And I just bought a lady's collection of uranium glass. quilts have made a comeback lately. I know they sold 2 quilts here yesterday, but I still have probably 80 or 90. And,
Quilts.
yeah. We're not running out of much of anything yet. When you look around, the only thing we're running out of is room. But it varies. You know, you have a customer might come in, they know exactly what they're looking for, and they'll ask you sometime, do you have this? If you have it, they're out the door. I mean, they're buying it. If you don't have it, they're out the door. And then you got the people come in, can I help you with anything? No, just looking. And just that piece is, a lot of people says, whatever strikes me. Mm-hmm. And there was one lady sitting here one day, whatever speaks to me, and I thought, if this stuff starts speaking, I'm out of here.
What's your, okay, I think people will, this is a question people will definitely want to know from you. After 6 decades, what's the key to finding good things?
That's changed a lot. Of course, the thing of it is, in 6 decades, people that I sold to back when I started, most of those people have died. That's just like most all the antique dealers that I dealt with back then. They're all gone. I'm the oldest one around. But a lot of those people's families have called. We've took what we want. Would you want to come look at the rest of it? I just bought a house in Glasgow out about a month and a half ago. Bought everything except the appliances. And it was fun. But I bought out several estates like that. And I don't travel a lot. I don't have time.
You're too busy.
Yeah. I used to have a lady that brought me stuff all the time, about every 2 weeks. And then they quit last year. Her and her husband just quit traveling. They both up in their 80s. She said, it's time we get off the road. But she was a really good source of stuff for me. But, I mean, there again, if I could just sell what's sitting on the floor so you can get through, it would help a whole lot.
You know, what I'm hearing you say is just basic connections. You make connections through life. And that's true for so many different things we can do in life.
Same with the flower shop. You know, I have people that have been my customers for years, and we even talked about going out of the business here in another year. And one lady heard about it, and she came the other day and said, "You're not quitting until I die." So,
so you're not allowed. So
no.
that decision's made.
Yeah, she's made that decision for me. She said, but no, it's. Of course, it used to be we had auctions all the time.
Right.
You hardly ever hear of an auction anymore.
Right. Now,
if it's either online,
yes,
or it's a tag sale, or which that's fine too. But
now speaking of online, before we started our cameras rolling, you mentioned that you all are considering getting into some online sales.
Yeah, I won't be doing it. I don't even do computers. I don't even do texting. I got a flip phone. So that's not going to be my forte. Most people have told me you'll have to give the description, and they'll go from there. But yeah, I mean, there's just things that you can't sell in this area that are very good somewhere else.
Yeah. So you're going to be doing. You all watch for that to happen in the future. That you all will be getting into a little bit of. So let's talk about this area. And in all candidness, this is something I haven't said yet. You know, we live near Horse Cave, and I've shopped with you for decades. And the one thing, this is not where I'm headed with this conversation right now, but the one thing I will say about you is I do believe, even though you don't use computers, I think your mind is a computer, because anytime I'm ever shopping with you, and I want to know something, or you know exactly the item, it seems, even if we're just talking on the phone, you know exactly the item that I'm speaking about, the shelf it's on, probably where you got it, probably exactly how much you paid for it, what you need out of it. I don't know how you remember all of those things, but I do think to be who you are in this industry, you have to have a mind like that.
And you're saying from my age, right?
No, I mean, you've always been that way. You've always, just like if they call you and if I'm shopping, I can say the blue vase on the, you'll know exactly, I don't know what this bird is that we're sitting here looking at, but I'm sure you probably know exactly where that came from, exactly what that is.
It's not really anything all that great. It's just more of something to sit around to look at.
Yeah.
It's probably made in the 1960s.
It's fabulous.
Somebody spent a lot of time putting all them little sequin things on there.
Yes.
That wouldn't be my forte either. I couldn't do that.
But anyway, what I was going to say is, in all candidness, I've shopped with you for years, and I do think that this area is a somewhat of a mecca in Kentucky. If people want to drive and shop, if they want to road trip to a location, there's Caveland Antiques here, which you have had for decades. There is Sugar Sank right around the corner. There is your place 4 miles down the road as well. There's Perkins Antiques. There is Hidden River Antiques and Consignment around the corner. There is a
Gigi's will be opening back up this summer.
Yes. Right. That's right here on Main Street also.
Oh, yeah. 2 doors down.
And then Emery has a walk through time. We'll be podcasting with him too up in Muffordville. And the junk shop at Rio, which is small potatoes compared to what you all do here. But there are, if somebody wanted to spend a couple of days in Hart County, there's enough places here to thrift and antique and junk shop and fill a Clampett mobile to go back to wherever their home is.
Yeah. I had a fun thing happen about a year ago. Adelaide came in the shop, and she was like this, trying to look at everything. And she was in the shop for about an hour. She was in the basement. When she came running up and ran outside, and I said, "Are you okay?" "No, I have turned my neck so much. I've got a migraine." And she was actually up chucking out there.
Oh no!
She did. She got sick. She got deadly sick.
Oh wow!
And she said, "I've been trying to look at everything, and I just can't."
Overload.
Yeah.
Overload illness of some kind. Yeah, I do think Hart County has enough that it can be almost an overload.
A thrifting destination.
So yeah, definitely a thrifting destination. What do you think? Why do you think that is? I mean,
this area has always had a lot of antiques. Period. Even in homes around here. I mean, you go into a house that you think wouldn't have nothing, and you find some great stuff sitting there. It's been passed down through the years, and there's a lot of people in this area that collected years ago. So now that they're gone, and like I said, their families don't want all of it. And this area's always been kind of a mecca for antiques, actually. I mean, when I first started, we had all kinds of shops around. We had Miss Burke's out here, Miss Bird Lyle's, and Naomi Stilts, and one at and I mean, they were everywhere. But all those folks are gone.
So there's probably even been more. Did I just name 8? I don't know if there were 8. We're going to work on that number and get it solidified, but there were probably more than 8, you're thinking.
Oh, in this area?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had one out here at the interstate at one time, and you had, Conroy Harris at Muffville, and
Judge Lindsay.
You had 3 in Cave City at one time, and
yeah.
So
I think you're right that the appreciation people in our area do have for well-made things, for collectible things, probably has been what has kept the thrifting, antiquing market alive here. Because it is readily accessible, like you were talking about buying an entire home except for the appliances. I guess we recycle them more than maybe other communities have. I know, no offense to Lexington, but Tony and I did go thrifting a few weeks ago in Lexington, and wonderful things. They had wonderful things, but not nearly the quantity of things that you can find here in Hart County.
A lot of shops like that are specialty shops. They just specialize in like English antiques or a period antiques. And, you know, we don't have everything you're wanting here, but we have a pretty good variety.
You have I do like the way you described from a tin can to I don't know what the last thing you said was.
Belter piece of furniture.
Yeah.
That's a furniture maker out of New Orleans in the 1880s, some 1840s to 1860s.
Yeah, and just your wealth of knowledge. And I think that's another thing I do want us to discuss while we're here with you is you do have a wealth of knowledge with 6 decades of knowledge. And I do think a lot of people who are owning the shops here may not have 6 decades like you do, but they know their stuff. You know, they can look at like you just looked at this bird and said it's probably made in the 1960s. That I think is an excellent draw and resource for people who are wanting to come and shop, an eclectic mix of things to see what strikes them. I'd be interested to know who buys more, the person that comes in just looking or the person that comes in and knows they want that pickle dish.
I don't know. That might be a toss-up. I mean, I say I don't advertise. I just don't advertise. I should. But in a roundabout way, I had some people that came from northeastern Kentucky, found something they'd really like. It was something that was very rare, and they bought several pieces. And she said, "You care if I put something online about your shop?" And I said, "I don't care." So 3 days later, I had this lady call me. She was from Michigan, and she'd saw the picture. Do you have certain blue royal lace? Is what the pattern was. And I said, "Yes, ma'am. What do you have in it?" Well, I told her about 4 things. She said, "That's enough." And I heard her say to her husband, "We're going to make a slight detour." And they were going to the Carolinas, so they were going from Michigan through Cincinnati, hitting 75 and going down that way. And they were almost at Cincinnati. So their slight detour was they came from Cincinnati to Horse Cave to pick up this blue royal lace. Yeah. And she wanted to know if she could put it online, some things. I said, "I don't care." And that was on a Thursday. And on Saturday, I had a lady call me from Evansville because she saw something, and they drove from Evansville to pick that up. And then somewhere in the mix, another guy from Michigan found out, saw some pictures, and he came down and bought $4,700 worth of those honey boxes. That was before they got so wild.
Let's stop right there just for a second. The fact that you had $4,700 worth of honey boxes should speak to the amazing collection you have curated here.
And one of those was $250, but the rest, most of them, were $100 or less.
See, that's quite a collection in just that one type of item that you have. We will definitely do some B-roll around the shop before we leave so that you all can see just the amazing gathering of things here. Before we go, what have we not discussed that you think people should know about your places or about anywhere near here that this industry?
I just think if you're interested in antiques or collectibles, we have collectibles too. I mean, like one of our biggest things has been the last little while has been the vintage Christmas. That's been a big thing, and I have a lot of vintage Christmas.
Now, you mentioned that you all normally they have a Christmas room. It's epic. It's right behind all the Coca-Cola memorabilia, which is also an epic collection. So what's going to happen with all your Christmas things now that that room
Well,
is
part of it's going to just be spread out. Like we've already put some on top of showcases here. We've already put some over there, and the two big showcases that has stuff in it will be left in that room. But I have to have a place to put a bunch of furniture that we got to get moved in the next little while. I would love to get my other corner building up here on the other end of the street opened up, but right now you can't even hardly get in it.
We would love for you to get
Yeah.
that building opened up as well. That would give you three locations.
It's still set up like it was. The only thing is we've just kept pushing more stuff in it, and it's going to have some major work before we can open it up. I mean, you can't get it in the door. But there will still be Christmas scattered on the building, and there's going to be another showcase towards the back that will have Christmas in it. But I'm having to take down the trees, except for I'm having 3 scattered around the building somewhere. And then so that means all those ornaments are going to be in boxes for a while, and so I can figure out somewhere to put them. I'm debating on opening up the upstairs.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to be some major work done up there too, because right now it's full.
Okay.
The upstairs is absolutely full.
Right now, here where we sit, there is a downstairs that's open. There is a main floor that's open. And the main floor has rooms. It's deep. It's a deep building.
Well, a lot of people come here. One of their favorite places is that little section I call my country store back there.
Yes.
Everybody likes that little section.
Yes.
But, one person might come in, they wouldn't give you 10 cents for everything in
Or
it.
any of that, right.
But they want a vase that's sitting over here,
Yeah.
Fenton's got a big, it's a big thing right now.
Is it making a comeback?
Oh, yeah.
The thing I think that is really driving the thrifting craze right now is the fact that there are so many generations that are doing it. It used to, I think, like back in the 80s, in the heyday, you were probably just dealing with 1 or 2 generations at the most. But now, everybody from 12, 16-year-olds on up, they all have their own varied interest of things that bring them joy when they see it. You can see their face light up when they find, what they're hoping for or what they didn't know they needed, but they realize they want.
But, part of my goal right now is I just need to I have so much stuff that's just stored back, like that building there on the corner. My most asked question is, what are you going to do with all this stuff when you die? And my answer is nothing. I'll be dead.
It's a good answer.
Yeah.
Solid answer.
Yeah. But my kids, they're in for it.
But they're aware. I'm sure that they are aware of
Yeah, and every day their main comment is, "Daddy, get rid of a bunch of this stuff."
Yeah. I think that I think you've always done a brilliant job of collecting and curating. I've always loved, and I've told Tony this for years, I love walking through your store or stores and seeing how you've curated, putting things together. There may be a completely blue display or a completely Victorian display. I love the way you do that. So anything else you want people to know? Tell us what your address is here, phone number, whatever.
114 East Main, 270-786-3200.
You're open 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Monday through Saturday.
Well, thank you so much.
We're Dolly Parton, 9 to 5.
9 to 5. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for letting us come in.
Thank you. It's been a
You're
pleasure.
certainly welcome.